Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be briefly talking about microplastics. I have been working with a client who is just having some issues going on, and I brought up microplastics, and she was completely in awe that that could even be an issue with her health issues. And so as we were talking about it, she's like, I never knew this. I don't think anyone, more people should know this. So I thought, you know what? Let's do a little kind of rundown of what microplastics are. So they say that we have one credit card worth or one plastic spoon of microplastics in our brain. I'm sure you all know what a credit card looks like. Boom. I don't have a plastic spoon on me, but it's insane. It's a lot. It's a couple milligrams of plastic that accumulates in our body. I'm pregnant right now, so I'm trying to limit even more microplastics because those microplastics can cross over to my baby, to my unborn baby. There are children being born with traces of microplastics in them. It can go through your breast milk. It's insane. Now, where do microplastics come from? In this day and age, they come from everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. They are in our daily lives, whether we like it or not. So even if you do try and get rid of all the plastic in your life, you'd be living in the woods. You'd be, living in a little wooden cabin, not driving, wearing your, nature clothing, and, it's impossible to eliminate all of it. So I just wanted to give a rundown and just kind of let you know where you can find them, what they are, what they do to the body, and how you can kind of eliminate that. So I'm going to start in the kitchen. How many of you use plastic food containers? I'm guilty. I've been trying to switch to glass. Even my glass comes with a plastic lid. So, you're storing your food. Not even food storage. How are you buying your food? Everything is wrapped in plastic these days. Everything. I mean, even certain forms of butcher paper and parchment and things like that still contain microplastics. Not as much as our all the other things that come in plastic, but they are in everything. And then what are you doing with some of those foods in those plastic containers? You're heating them up in the microwave. And then that is leaching. The heat is leaching that plastic into your food. Think about those water bottles. You leave it on a warmer day in your car and maybe you're so thirsty. I could never drink warm water, but some people do, I guess. And you pop off that cap and have a little sip. There's a lot of microplastics in there. And you might think, oh, it's just a sip. It's just one meal in the microwave. It's just this, it's just that. No, it's not just the one thing, because they're so prevalent in our daily lives that they add up. They accumulate so much more quickly than you would think. So in our kitchen is one. And not to mention, what are your kitchen cupboards made out of? What is your oven made? There's the dishwasher. There's so many different bits of plastic. And even when it says BPA free or this or that or, blah, 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 there's still plastic. There's no escaping. So that's kind of like in our kitchen. But then there's the food. And a big part of food, not even the food that we buy that's coming in those plastic wrapped bins or plastic wrapped containers or packages, anything like that, but seafood. The ocean is completely riddled with microplastics. So your shellfish are gonna have lower amounts. I don't know if anyone's a seafood eater. I'm from BC, I'm from the ocean. I love me a good seafood fest. So your shellfish are gonna be a little less contaminated, but your fish, your actual fish, your tunas and your salmons and your mackerels and all that, and your cod, and they're gonna have, I think it's like 800 times higher the amount than a shellfish. It's something insane. It really is crazy. And, I'm not going to tell you to stop eating sushi because your girl loves sushi. And, that's one thing that I just can't give up. And then it got me thinking, what about farmed fish? I know farmed fish isn't good or anything like that, but do they have less plastic? I'll have to get into that. And then just in our daily lives, microplastics in our daily lives. Think about the car that you drive, the bus that you ride, the Uber that you take. If you are some miraculous person that gets out of using a vehicle every day, what about the bike that you ride? or the rollerblades that you wear, or even the shoes that you wear. I've been on the hunt for plastic-free shoes, you know, with a nice cork bed and this and rubber sole and blah, blah, blah. And they are out there. They are pricey. I will tell you that, but they are out there. But your shoes, you know, it's insane. Everything is covered with it. So back to daily lives. I said vehicles and buses and all that. Think about the couch that you sit on. Or, you know, like I said earlier, the car that you drive. The car, you know, you have your seats, your dashes, your this, your that. Now, you might not think that plastic is surrounding you as much as it is, but we'll go on to fabrics in a minute. But, you know, the fabric in your car, whether it's leather, if it's leather, then hopefully it's real and it's nice. But there are a lot of, you know, pleather or fake kind of things like that have a lot of plastic. The upholstery on your couch, the things in your daily lives, like your dressers, your wood, your this, your that. It's very rare to get an authentic piece of pure wood without some sort of coating or, you know, integration of plastic in that wood material. It really is just, it is everywhere, guys. It's everywhere. You know, you're going out. Here's another one too, kind of in the beauty industry. You're going out and you're getting your makeup, your hair, you know, your skincare products. 9 times out of 10, they're coming in a plastic container. I've recently made the switch to a more natural makeup. So I found a few different brands. I really like Cheekbone Beauty and Naturally Wild. So here, you're getting plastic. These are my old things that I kept. Plastic, everything's plastic. The ingredients in this, it's actually not on the back, but I'm sure there's some plastic inside there as well. And I've switched, so Naturally Wild comes in a very nice packaging. This has, I believe it has coconut oil, shea butter, jojoba oil. There's all sorts of good stuff in there. And their other container is just a little tin. You can use this as blush, eyeshadow, lip stuff. It's amazing. The other one that I use is Cheekbone Beauty. It's an amazing company as well. They really do a good job at minimizing plastic and putting in good ingredients. So check out those two, Naturally Wild and Cheekbone Beauty. But yeah, your skin care, your hair care, like everything. And not to mention, a lot of that stuff has a lot of chemicals as well. And what those chemicals are doing is they're endocrine disruptors. They're messing with your body. So you're not only getting, you know, absorbing that microplastic and all those chemicals, and some of them are forever chemicals, the PFAs, but it's an impact on your body. Now, you might have that survivor's bias where you're like, well, I'm fine, you know, I did this growing up and I'm fine, or I did that and I'm fine. You might be fine right now, but you might not down the road. Or maybe you do have some underlying health issues and you just think microplastics aren't going to be it. Here's the kicker. I'm going to get into clothing now. Polyester, I believe it was polyester, it's plastic. It's essentially plastic. There's forever chemicals in there. There's PFAs. A lot of your workout clothing is made from polyester, so then you're sweating and that sweat is getting everything going and those plastics are seeping into your skin. It doesn't sound very good when it's, you know, described like that, right? So what that can do is really mess up your body. And they actually did a test with males, I believe humans, you know, human males, and in dogs. I believe those were the 2 test subjects. They may have tried a trial on women. I haven't fully looked into that yet. Anyway, they put on polyester underwear and guess what? It affected the fertility of both males, the human males and the male dogs. That's insane. So if you've been putting polyester over your, you know, wearing them as underwear, I mean, yes, you might be fine, but if you suffer from infertility, I'm not saying polyester is going to answer all your problems, but I'm just saying it could be an issue. It's something to look into. And that's why I'm doing this video, is because my client was, you know, she's got some stuff going on. And as I started going through everything and when microplastics came up, and she just, when you think about it, You think, no, that's whatever, you know, so minuscule. But then you think about how much exposure we have to microplastics in a day. And it really gets the gears going, because you're like, okay, all right, I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole. So clothing, and it's not just polyester, it's, you know, the acrylics, the rayon, the nylon. Rayon is one because it's meant to replicate the feeling of a natural fiber and the look of a natural fiber, but the way that it is chemically processed, it's terrible. It's just as bad. So, I mean, essentially, if you can get, you know, wool, linen, even cotton, if you can get organic cotton. I know that regular cotton sometimes most of the time is chemically processed as well. I just got into making a lot of my own clothes for this reason, because I completely purged my closet, realizing how much plastic I have in there. You guys, it's eye-opening. It's insane. It's insane. And I mean, if you're just starting, go to the thrift shop, go to Value Village. Some of these, you know, higher end materials, cotton, wool, linen, they can be more expensive. But if you go to a thrift shop and, you know, check it out, I got a whole bunch of stuff for under $100. So I sold everything in my closet for, I think it was like $200. And then I bought some pants from Pact, P-A-C-T, they're really great, and used the rest to go to Value Village. And then I also got a sewing machine. Material it can be expensive. Go to Value Village, go through their bedding section and find anything you can, cotton or linen. And that's where you start. It's baby steps. It really is baby steps. Anyways, that's just I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes. I went over, but I just wanted to give a little bit of information on microplastics. I highly encourage you to do your own research, because there's a lot of things in our daily lives. Of course, we can't be completely rid of all of it, but if we can decrease and minimize our exposure even just a little bit, especially with our children, then why not? You know, it's one more thing that we can tick off and say, you know what, we're trying our best. So thank you for listening to me rant about microplastics. If you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments below. And I hope you guys do dig a little bit deeper into microplastics, just to see what they can do to you, how they can affect your health, how they can affect your life, how they can affect your brain. And if you are pregnant or trying to conceive, how they can pass through the placenta into your baby. Babies are being born with microplastics. Do you think that happened 100 years ago? I don't think so. And if it did, it was probably the tiniest little bit. Now it's a bit. Through your breast milk. So if you're nursing, even if you're not nursing, formula comes in a plastic, you know, there's plastic in there. There's plastic in everything. Okay, I'm gonna cut this off because I'm at 13 minutes now, but please check out microplastics, check out the clothing, the containers your stuff comes in. Just take a look around your house and you'll see. I mean, I am no saint. We've got a lot of plastic in our house, but I'm just trying to do my fair share of educating for you guys, minimizing for myself, and just being held accountable once you learn the facts. All right, have a good day, guys. See ya.